Think we're live now? Yes, 1, 2. Hey, hello everybody. Where are we? Yes, hello everybody. Welcome in. Uh, right, if you've seen my case swap with a twist, you'll have noticed that I stopped streaming after about nearly 2 hours of streaming because while I was going through it, I spotted something which I didn't actually say on camera at the time or show you on camera, but the power switch on the case I was swapping into was actually faulty. A couple of the wires, about 3 or 4 wires, seemed to have ripped out of the connector that was actually on the board. Uh, because it was still under warranty, I didn't mess about with it. I could have repaired it myself with a bit of soldering, but I didn't bother. I just raised a Amazon return for exchange. They honoured it, did so, and the actual case arrived yesterday. I was going to do a stream yesterday, but I ran out of time basically. So I'm gonna continue today. So let's jump in a second, and we'll see how we get on. Okay, if you remember, we just move these out of the way. If you remember, or if you've seen the video, those of you that haven't, this is my daily driver case. Let me just adjust the. There we go. I'll just adjust the camera for you slightly there. Move that one out of the way a little bit for now. This is my daily driver case. It's not a bad little case, but I bought this during the pandemic, and it was only about 35 quid, something like that. And I needed a case basically, so this is all I could go for. It's got a filter on the top, magnetic filter on the top, which is capable of taking two 240 fans or 240mm fans, or you could put a 240 rad, 220 240 rad at the top. You can take if you want it. One of the things I said I disliked, or what I'm annoyed with these case manufacturers, what they're doing, let me just adjust this again, is that I've got two USB 2 ports on this side, and I've also got space for two USB 3 ports this side. What they've done is give me two USB 2 and one USB 3. The thing is, the header on the motherboard for this is actually for two, so they've actually cheated me of one of my USB 3s. Now, if they wanted to do that, I would have sooner they'd have took out the USB 2 and put two USB 3s in there, and maybe a Type C in there, yeah, or just leave it without two. But they should really give you two USB 2 and two USB 3. They shouldn't be blanking one off, because the header on the board actually activates two. So you paid for a fourth one, which you're not getting, so you're only getting 3 out of the 4 that you paid for. That's one of the things I disliked. But I'm afraid you're going to find it on most cases. And when you go for budget cases, it's something that happens quite a lot. The next thing that I took issue with, and again, it's the same on the new case, which I found out when I took it out yesterday. Not yesterday, when I did the first stream, because I compared the case, was this mesh which protects your power supply. Well, it's this filter that protects the power supply, especially if you've got your case on carpet. Mine doesn't live on carpet; it lives on the side of my desk here. But this is to protect your power supply from gathering a load of dust. The design of it is so stupid, because you have to manipulate the mesh filter to get it out, which means you have to sort of like bend it slightly inwards or outwards on itself as such, and then pull it out to clean. The mesh itself has got no frame around it, and obviously over time these edges are going to start fraying, especially when it catches going in and out of this holder here. Eventually this is going to start becoming damaged. It's going to start becoming difficult to get in, and a lot of people are going to get annoyed and probably discard it. Once they do that, they then turn their power supply, especially if you've got the fan mounted downwards, into an expensive vacuum cleaner. So that's a thing I disliked about the design of the filter for the power supply. And the thing is, with the new case, is exactly the same thing. When I was looking at the specification, you know, one of the things they don't show you is the design of your filter for your PSU, so you can make up your mind. They don't show you that, but unfortunately, now you can see I've got issues. Let me just take out my dongle, my Bluetooth, and my mouse dongle. Get them out of the way. Oh, Millie, is that? Can you hear that? If you hear that, can you hear that? That rolling, that's Millie. It's outside my door. She's waiting for her dinner. Right. So, as you can see, again, adjusted this slightly. This filter has not quite gone in right. It's parting, but one. This is what I mean about you having to manipulate it to get it in and out, and that's what I dislike about it. Now, the filter on the streamer that I'm streaming on now is totally different. It's got to, in fact, I'll pull it out and show you. It's a much better design. It's got a frame around it and also a little handle so you can grab it. Now this is out of this case, you can see, and on the new case that I'm going to be building in a second, it's exactly the same like this. But this is out my streamer, and you see the difference? My streamer is a Corsair case. The Corsair case, one of the things I like about them is that there's your filter for your power supply, and it's actually in a frame, and you've actually got a little handle there. And what happens is, it's when you put it in, it's exactly similar to this. You've got a frame around that it drops into, but this is slightly, just slightly, as you put it in, is under tension, and then when you push it in, it then clips up to lock it in place. So when you want to release it, bring my finger. When you want to release it, you just put your finger on there, press down a little bit, not a lot. You don't put a lot of it, just slightly, just to release it, and then you just pull it out. Clean your filter off, slide it back in, and then it locks back into place. Now that is a perfect design. That's brilliant, and I think all manufacturers should be doing this. All case manufacturers should be doing this. And this is annoying because when you've got your system up on your desk or whatever, it's not that you cannot easily just put your hand under there, slide it, pull it out, clean it, and push it back in, which a lot of times you're going to want to. You've got to start manoeuvring the case around, which means you've got to start turning the case off or whatever. And people are just going to get annoyed and say, I can't be bothered with that eventually. And then they're just going to say, bin that. They'll bin it. And then your power supply, especially when you've got your fan mounted downwards, as I have here, it becomes then a vacuum cleaner, especially if you've got it mounted on carpet. If you're going to mount your system on carpet, put it on a plinth or get a little riser table or something, or just get a flat piece of wood, the width of your PC, and rest it on that, so you're not pulling up the carpet dust fibres and all the rest of the dirt. Don't forget, a lot of dirt falls down to your floor, so you're going to put up a lot of dirt. When you're up on your tabletop like I am on your desk, it's not as bad because most dust will escape. So just put this filter back in. See, there you go. As easy as that. But this one now, you've got to manipulate it. So you've got to show you, right? So you've got these little lips that it locates into. But because it's the full size of it, you've got to start flexing this. So you've got to either get one side in first or two sides like that. Then slide it down. And when that's done, then you've got to start manipulating this. So you've got to start flexing it to get it in under here. And the thing is, with this, you keep doing that long enough over time, the filter is going to become creased. It's going to start breaking because it's not very thick. It's very thin and very flimsy. And the edges are so rough anyway when you feel around it that it's going to start splitting, and the filter is going to start becoming a pain. It's going to start cutting when you start putting your finger on there. So people are just going to throw it. So that is a bad design filter. And unfortunately, the new case that I'm going to build in is also the same design, which was, like I said, in the initial purchase of the case, I was not aware of. But anyway, here we go. Here it is. Here's the new one. Now this is as I said before, if you watch my first video, it's called case swap with a twist. The twist being that after I got so far, I found out that the power supply was faulty. As I say, this is an AVP hexa case, and this is a case that I'm going to be putting the contents of my daily PC into here. So we'll get started. This is a tempered glass tempered glass panel. I do beg your pardon, as opposed to my current one, which is acrylic. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take the panels off because I need to get to a few things. So I'm going to take the panels off. So I'm going to get it off, put that to one side. We won't need that for now. This is the last thing I'm going to need after everything. Any cable management I don't think I'll be doing on stream. No. Just get a little container here just to put my little screws in. So take this glass panel off. I won't take the peel off yet. I'll save that. That'll be my guilty pleasure later. So I'll put that over there out of the way. Okay. I'm going to get the other panel off. These are thumb screws. They're not captured. I know that because from the first one that I took off. I wish there were captured screws. Okay, so like I said, it only comes with one fan, which is this rear fan, and this rear fan is actually ARGB. In the front, it's a mesh front, which I do like, and it's got RGB in the front, but it's just a strip down the side, which I'll show you in a second. So there's the other panel off, and here we go. There's a controller. So you can see they've already sort of like set it up. The controller's there, the main one set up. I'm going to have to take the front panel off because I'm actually going to fit. The first thing I'm going to do is fit two of my own fans because there's no fans in the front, as I say. And this is actually the process that I run is a Intel i9-9900KF. If you're wondering why I emphasize the KF, it's that the KF version of the chip, there's a K and a KF. The K version of the chips, you can put it on if your motherboard, as my motherboard does, has a graphic output, i.e. it's got HDMI or HDMI display port, whatever. If it's got that type of connection, you can just plug your monitor in and away you'll go. But because I've got the KF, it doesn't, so you've got to have a discrete graphic. In other words, you put your board in, think that, I'll plug it into the graphic port on my board, it won't work, you won't get no display. So that's the difference between the K and the KF. So right, the first thing I want to do is loosen up to make sure I don't have any repeat of what may have happened the last time, which is when I took the front panel off, it might have been too tight and caused damage to cables. I'm going to make sure I've got slack in there. And the first thing I'm going to do, as I say, is put two of my own blue RGB fans in, and I'm going to take this front panel off. So rip the bottom, and you've got to be a bit firm because the fittings are quite tight. There you go, that's one. Now I'll just check. There we go. So I'm going to have to take this front connector off just for now, because like I say, I want this. And the good thing about this again, it also has a filter on the front. So we've got a mesh filter here on the front. This is again another magnetic filter. There you go, it just comes up like that. And it does have a magnetic filter on the top. for here, which I already took off. As I said, I took this case because of the experience I had with the first case with the Switch V40. As soon as this one came, I unboxed it straight away and checked, and it was I don't know if you can quite see up here. You see that there? That's actually the connector. The connector. It's a one piece. Well, the whole thing comes out, but this piece is one piece, and it controls. It's got on it the power button. The power button. It's also got the LED, the controller for the LEDs, and the LED is just a strip that they put around the face here. There you go. Can you see it there? That strip there. That's them all. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm looking for some 13 LED lights on there, and it's just down one side. It's not down both sides, and obviously that's going to shine across and give that to this mesh and the effects of LED. But like I said, I'm going to put 2 of my own fans in there as well. So the first thing I'm going to do is put 2 fans in here, as I said before. So let me just locate those, which is just down here inside my work desk. I did. There's one. There's one. And the other ones. I've actually got. And there's 2 inside this box. And there's a joint on that one as well. No. It's okay, I'm just looking for some. Sure, I had some other fan screws lying around somewhere. What to pack them? The 8 that I've opened up. Billy, what are you doing there, baby? Sorry guys, just slightly distracted. I was just looking for my fan screws, which I took out and I put somewhere. I have got some more here, but I've got some open already, which I just didn't want to open up more unnecessarily. I can just remember where I put those damn screws. I have so much things going on. No, I'm sure I put those screws. in here. Ah. Yes, there they are. I knew I had them somewhere. I just didn't want to unnecessarily open any more screws than I have to, because I've already got them because I was using them. Right, okay. So let me just manipulate this how I want it, because I want my wires coming. So this is the front of the fan, so I want it bringing air in, right? So if you're ever unaware, I want to fit a fan and you're unaware which way round it goes, the side that turns, you see how all this is turning, including the label? That's the side that pulls the air in, and the side with your bracket, that's the side the air's coming out of. So basically, I want it pulling air in from the outside into the case, across the motherboard, through the CPU fan, and then exhausted out through the back. So it's a push, so it's a constant flow like that all the way through. So I'm going to put one fan up here. Let me get my let me get these kind of ready. So okay, so I'm having this way, that coming out that side, going forward. This fan's going behind, and my cable will come through. No, because the mesh is going that way. Yeah, the mesh is going across there. So I want my cables that way. So what I'm doing, I'm just getting one kind of lined up. Okay, so I'm gonna line up my other fan as well. There you go, like I said, I want them both in the same orientation because I want my fans pulling air in, and I want my cable coming out the correct side. Yeah, so I'm going to have it similar like that. Now you might say, well, you've only put 2 screws in. I will have put in all the screws in, but what I want to do first is just get it located to see how it looks, see if I like it, before I actually secure and make any adjustments to anything I'm not happy with. So all I'm doing now is just positioning them. Just positioning, see how I want them. So I'll put this in there so I can start to right, so again, so I'll have a slight, yes, I think I'll have a slight gap between the fans there, just there like that. So what I'll do is now, I'll sort of like commit that one. And don't forget, you don't have to scrunch these down. You just want them all held in place so they don't move around. Now the good thing about these fans is I got these fans easy fab, easy fab, easy fab, easy DIY fab. Yeah, they have got rubber mounts on them so to minimise vibration, noise. That's one of the things that drew me towards them. And these are a light blue LED. I've actually got one in the front of my daily there. But I'm leaving that in because I'm going to use that for another build. I'm going to use that case for another build. So I'll get my fans in first. Oops. Let me just, where's it gone? Let me just magnetize this a little bit, guys. I've got just the driver for this. A short little stubby fella like myself. A short little stubby fella like myself. That's excellent for fans. Because they don't really need a lot of torque to do fans. This baby. Part of the problem with this screwdriver now, I've had it that long, it's getting rounded, so I need a new tip. So I think I'll go off, see if I can get a new tip for that. But the thing is with this, it's a dual Phillips one end, crosshead one end, straight edge the other. Right, so that's me. My two front fans in. So I want those in. And as I say, these are light blue. Okay, we can now put back on. I think we've finished there because these come through. These come through this opening. Right, let me show you. These are coming through this opening down here, both of them. So we get the first one through. And I'll just roughly route the cables the way I want them. So I've got them roughly the area I want them. I won't be doing too much fine routing yet as such. There you go. So now I've got both these cables. Excellent. Yeah, I should actually rotate that one round one more. Right, I'm just going to rotate the top one. I've just got it rotated. If I rotate it round one more, I won't have all that cable trailing around the fan. It'll be the shortest route out the fan. Wrong way. Okay, so just want to rotate this fan round one more rotate that way. So now that's better. The cables are, I'll show you in a second, the cables are now, you can't see, are now together. And that's what I mean about, that's why I wanted to put the fans in first. Now I've got it how I want it, I feel happier. And then the next thing I'm going to do is remove the motherboard from mine and set it into here. Now the good thing I know, I will recheck the standoffs, but I know from the last one that the standoffs are in the right place and I don't have to move anything. Now, what I've just done there is the fans, both the wires from both fans are coming through this hole here. I had to move this top one around because the wire was actually up here coming down. So I've turned it around one more time, anti-clockwise, and now watch them both come around there from the bottom, from the top and the bottom of the fan, straight through basically. It's not running down here like this first one was. So now we've got that done. I'm going to put my mesh back on because I don't think there's anything else here that I need. Oh, before I do that, I do know from previous experience that I just need to. The good thing is this drive tray is actually over the side that I want it to. So I'm actually going to take it out, put that back in there. My power supply will fit in. It's a modular power supply. It will fit with no problems. But I'll just take that out. It just makes it easy to get my hand in. Then I'll put that back after last. So now I've got that out right. Okay, so now I've done that. All that set up. So now I'll put my filter back on, and then I'll put my panel back on because I don't, or should I? I'm just trying to think which is going to be easier. Save damage to the LEDs and the case. Could leave it off. Put the case. Yeah. I'm just winging it here, guys, as I go. I'm just trying to work smart. I'm just learning from the last experience of the first one. So I'm just trying to do things differently. So what I've got to do now is get this off here because I need to bring the other one up, get the motherboard out of it. Alright, so now So now I've got one spare fan left, which is, I bought 2 boxes of 2. I put one, because that case came with a front fan. It only needed a rear fan. So I put one in there. But this case, no, sorry. I'll get it right in a minute. No, my Corsair fan. My Corsair case came with a, my Corsair case came with a fan. That's right. No, this came with a front fan, but no rear. No, this came with a rear fan, but no front fan. That's correct. This came with a rear fan, but no front fan. So I put one of the fans in there. This case has come with only with one rear fan, but because it's an i990 board, an i990 chip, not board, an i990 chip, I'm going to actually double up the fans for better cooling. So next thing I need to do now is to bring this up, just clear some space here. So that's for that. Those are cable clips. Those are the screws. If you're wondering why I've got 2 sets of screws, that's the screw that came with a new case, but because it's the same case, I'm using the screws from the first one that I sent back, because I never sent the screws back, so they'll probably put more in. I should have really, but I actually forgot, and then I realised afterwards, but I won't unbox it again because I've already done it. Right, so that's that. Look at you waffling, Michael. So now we are going to, as you can see, that's in the off position, the power supply. I already make sure it's in the off position. I am now going to just press the button to discharge any thing in it. And now I need to remove this acrylic panel. Now, if you're wondering what I'm rocking in this case, it's a Gigabyte H370 HD3 motherboard. It's an Intel motherboard. It's 1151 LGA, and that's for this case. Put those back up. So acrylic. Sorry, I'm just. And I've got an Intel i9-9900 KF, a Mugen 5 cooler, a MSI 2060, not a TI, just a 2060 graphics card. And before anybody start making comment that's not one of the best graphic cards, I know it's not, but it's all I could afford at the time, and I'm not sort of like doing any heavy gaming. And I've got 64 gigabytes of Corsair 3200 RAM in here. And the reason why I've got so much RAM is to compensate that the graphics card is not one of the highest, but I play Train Simulator 2, I play X-Plane and Microsoft Flight Simulator, which is very graphic and memory intensive, and I also play Raid Shadow Legends. So that's why I have got 64 gig of RAM. It's mainly for Microsoft Flight Sim, because that's the heaviest user. It's more graphic intensive. The better graphic card you got, which will be obviously the new 36s, but nobody can get for love nor money, and I'm not being scalped. I'm not paying triple the price of what the cards are worth. No way. And while people keep paying those scalping prices, the scalpers will carry on doing it. Unfortunately, some people have got more money. They've got the money to do that, to pay for that. I haven't. And I'm not going to. Right, so there's my MSI graphics card. Again, I said that was bought during the pandemic. In fact, this system was built during the pandemic. Now I need my Mugen screwdriver because I'm going to take this. I'm going to take this. I've got to take this cooler off. I know I have to get to the EPS pins. So I'm just trying to do it evenly, and I'm going to actually clean this up. And re-thermal, repaste it. First, let's get it off the board. Okay, so I will be cleaning up the factor. Okay, next thing is, let's get this EPS off the board. There we go. There's that rear fan that I fitted myself. It came with its own fan there at the front. So I'll just take that fan connector off, and I need to take off audio, USB, the front fan connector, USB 3, front panel connectors, and last but not least, the 24 pin, and then we need to the other back panel. Okay. Okay. One thing I disliked about this cage, hard drive cage, is that although it's no tool fix for your hard drives, it's toolless. That's the word I'm looking for. It's toolless for your hard drive. It's actually riveted in, so I couldn't get it out, and I wanted to put in here. I got a modular power supply, a Corsair modular power supply, which is what initially was going to put in. I put the power supply in as such, which is slightly longer than this one. Not a lot, probably about another ½ inch, maybe 3/4 inch. Probably not, probably about ½ inch. But then to get the cables in, there was hardly any room. You see, that's all the rooms I'd have. And I couldn't move this drive cage out like I can on this one, on the new one. I was looking if it was adjustable. It's not adjustable. It's fixed and it's riveted into place. So that was a bad design. So now you've got all this space here wasted. You know, obviously, if you want to put a rad in there, you could have done. But all this space is wasted. But they could have made it so it's adjustable. If it slid up another couple of inches, it would have been fine. You can still get a rad in. That would have come up there. and then I could have got my power supply and got my cables in. I wouldn't have had to swap out my case. And again, like you can see, I told you about the filter. Same filter style design. Hate it. Right. Yes, let's get the motherboard out now, guys. Let's get the motherboard out now. So I've got everything disconnected, all the cables. Put the screwdriver with this Mugen. I'll put them. Put the Millie's hungry. She's floating around. She's floating around. Millie's hungry. Feed her in a bit. Okay. So the wires out of here. Oh, so that's why it won't come out. So that standoff has actually come out. That standoff was not in very tight. So is that going in for speed? Interesting. Oh, let's start that. Just excuse me 1 second. I just need to where's my tissues gone? Oh, that's odd. Oh, they're right behind me. So I say, just give me a second, guys. Just gonna blow my nose. Better. a little bit better. Okay, so this one was a bit. Okay. Shouldn't have a repeat of that then. Shouldn't have a repeat of that, my friends. Okay. Now I've actually got a board I'm going to put in there. Not yet. So that's the board out there. I don't want that power supply. I'm going to put my own supply in there. But I'm not going to put the power supply in yet. I'm going to get the board lined up, and I need to get the, like I've done the last time, left the I/O shield in. I'm just going to get it, because all I'm doing is just transferring the board across, so it's the same I/O shield and everything. So just put the I/O shield out. There we go. Pop it into this one. Just get the cables out of the way. Let's start up here first, just clear the. I know the issue is. There we go. Okay, I/O shields in, board back in, and then we'll clean up this CPU and cooler. We'll put it on, but then what we'll do is I will hang on. I had to manipulate this last time, didn't I? Yeah, because this is right. So I just have to. In this event, you have to sort of like bring the cables in to get it in, if you know what I'm saying. Okay, so okay, that's clear. So I'm now just going to. Oh, that looks like it went straight in. And what I'm checking for now. What I'm checking for now, people, is that this I/O shield, these earthing straps in between the ports. I'm making sure that none of them are actually going into the ports. And that one seems to be slightly twisted up. Let's bring it back out. There we go. I'm making sure that none of them goes into the port to cause an issue, because they are grounding straps and they're there to cause an earth between each port. So yeah, everything's looking good there. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to offer that to the case, but what I'm going to do is open up this baggie, because the case, the screws for this case are slightly different. Well, usually they're slightly different. So I'll just try one first. I should have tried one actually before I put the case in, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to use one that's easy to get at in the centre here and try that. Yeah. Okay, so that's not a problem. I've got it. Okay, I'm just double checking, because now's the time to correct any mistakes before, because you go tighten it all down, you then look again, and you've seen you've got something is slipped into the ports. So I'll put one in to lock it into location, and then I'm going to put all the rest of the screws in. I'm just checking the ports one more time, and then away we go. So now I just need to find the other 5 of them. So I've got one there. So I'll go up this corner now to give me. Oh, what's going on here? Okay. I think I might have just been out of alignment with that screw. Or is it the screw that's not? Is that the wrong screw? Oh, that's the wrong screw. That's why I'm not getting anywhere. Oh, silly me. That's what I mean about it. That's the screw. This is it. There's a couple of screws that are very, very similar. It's a good job I didn't, and that's one of the good reasons why you don't use electric screwdrivers to tighten your screws, because an electric screwdriver you could have probably forced that, cross-threading it, ruining the standoff, and then if you come to upgrade or do anything later on, you've got issues. Your screw can't come out, or you've totally ruined that standoff. If you've got spares, not bad, but if you haven't got any spares, you got yourself a whole lot of, you put yourself in a whole lot of pain. So it's important you pay attention to the screws. A good rule of thumb is you should always check before you put your board in. Get a screw and see which goes into the standoff easily. Yeah, then find all the other screws matching it, and then you've got them then, and you know you've got the right screws. Keeping the others in the bag. Keeping all other screws in the bag until you've completely installed your motherboard, so you don't accidentally put a wrong screw in. Because like I say, several of them look very similar, but you've got different heads. Some have got like a collar in them, a collar on the heads. Some are just like a rounded head, and some are like a hex head. Now these that I'm putting in are very similar to the ones you used to put optical drives and hard drives in with. The other ones are like case screws that you secure panels with. That's why each case comes with its screw, because those screws fit those case. Fit the attachments for that case that's required. Just this one in the corner here, it's just been a bit problematic. Let's take it back out. There we go. Right. No, I do believe that's not the right screw. Similar but not right. Here we go. That's better. Amazing when you get the right screws. When you got the right tools for the right job. It's amazing how things fall into place. Okay, that's the board back in. That was painless. I've got the board back in. So now we'll just tidy up some of these screws now. Now those are screws from my other motherboard, from the other case. Alright. Okay. So now, that's not the case, that's not there. Right, so now we're going to put the power supply in. I'll just unclip the microphone a second. So I've just got to go across the other side of the room. And I'm back. Right. Now we'll fit our power supply, PSU, power supply unit. The unit itself, because I've fitted it to the other case and I had to send it back, the screws are already in. I left them in so I know where they are, so I didn't lose them. And that's something you should do, guys, if you don't want to lose the screws for your power supply unit. If ever you fit a power supply unit and you have a problem, or you've got to change direction to what you was doing, just put the screws back into the power supply unit locations, and then you've got them. Then you don't have to bother looking for them. We know these the right one. So, like I said, this is the original power supply I wanted to fit in my other case, but I couldn't because of that drive cage. It was unmovable. Fan down in this because it's got in the bottom, so I have it. I'm making sure that the switch is in the off position. Yeah, making sure the switch is in the off position. The fan's going to go down. The connectors inside the case, and the on-off switch and the power socket to the outside. This goes into this case this way. I'll just swivel this round. Just maneuver that into place. There we go. You notice I've just made it spin a couple of times just so that now this does have a torque setting on it, and it's set to torque 3 at the moment. Or torque 2. Torque 1, torque 2. Yeah, I've got it on torque 2. There's a little arrow on this here. Normally I have it torque 3. I have to double check because I do use it for other jobs, and sometimes I change the torque and forget to check it. And then what I'll do with a little screwdriver, just go around and give it a turn, and turn. There we go. Right, so that's a power supply in. Cables next. In fact, I think I'll run the I'll get these set up. That's the two fans that I've put in. This is my USB 3 that's going at the front of the board. What is my audio, HD audio, and the USB 2, yeah, USB 2. Okay, so swivel that around. Let's see if you guys can get a look-see. See if you guys can see a look-see. I need to see, but I'll try and get you in. Right, so we get some light in here. I actually got this set up the wrong way around. I should have actually have the cameras with a light to the back to the window, but unfortunately there's no way, the desk won't go there. So I need to manipulate this in the USB 2, so let's get this, maneuver it up there. Then I've got my audio. Where's my audio cable gone? The audio cable's here, so we have to maneuver that, lift that up there. There we go. Okay, so audio is front audio, and if you look on the connector, HD audio has got a blanking pin. I'm sorry guys, I know I'm trying to show you, but at the same time I need to see myself. Okay. It's got blanking pins second at the bottom, which is there, so this needs to go that way up. So the audio, HD audio on the connector needs to be face downwards for this to fit correctly, because that pin's blanked out there on the bottom row. It's on the bottom row that side. You have to check these things, because in each case the pin, you know, it's standard. Sometimes the writing on the plug might be the opposite way around. With some plugs you might find that the writing goes down, and some plugs the writing are up. Then I've got my USB 2, so I've got two USB connectors. So we'll put in the first one, and we've got a blank pin which is at the top there. So this time the USB is upwards, because this pin is blanked out at the top and the missing pin is at the top up there. So this time now on this connector the USB is upwards, but on the HD it's face down. So that's why it's important that you actually pay attention to the way they go in, otherwise you can end up bending the pin. If you bend the pin, you give yourself problems. Okay, so pull some of that back through now. So that's that. I'm going to put my front connectors on, then I'm going to put my EPS and my 24 pin on the board. Okay, so let me just put my front connectors on. Let me just locate. First time I did this, I thought I'd lost all the front connector things because I couldn't find them. And here they are. Found them this time. Found them this time. I'm going to actually run this. Hang on, what's going on here? What's this? Oh, is this part of this loom? spark this loom, but I'm actually going to run it behind. And I'll actually use that to pull that down, because that I can use. Yeah, oh, I've got some. Yeah, I got some. I can get that into there. That into there. Oh yes. Oh yes, Churchill. Oh yes. So that's one now. Need to come in with all my front connectors through here. Light, camera action. Let me just pass all that around so I can see. I've got to fish them out. There we go. Okay, let me just check up here that I'm not ripping no wires. This is actually the, yeah, so it's actually the one that has all that. So I want to make sure, yeah, the wires all look still intact. Can't see no ripped out wires there, good. Don't want to go through all that palaver again. And actually I've come through the wrong hole because it's this one. Front panel's on this side. So I don't need all that stress. Okay. Can you see? Let me see. Right, you're not going to be able to see much, guys, because my hand's going to be in the way. But I want power lead plus and minus. So the plus goes to the outside where the cable is. Right, I'm going to just swap around like that. Sorry, guys, power lead. And I got the top. Well, I want to do the power lead, power switch, HDD lead, and reset switch. So I'm going to put the HDD lead on the bottom first, simply because that goes that way. Simply because it's easy to get the ones up top, and then there's no reset on this power switch. So the other two now are on the top row. So it's the power switch and the power lead. The power lead is first, plus and minus. There we go. So the first two. So I'll put this there at the top. Right, plus minus, and then the power switch. It's on the back now with the little powers there. At the top. Bang, 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 bang. Right, so that's the front umbilical connected. Front umbilicals connected. As you can see, I use M.2 drives. I've got two of them in here. They're both 970 EVOs. The top one's a 500 gigabyte, which is my OS, my operating system, and the bottom one's a 1 terabyte. And that has all my data on it. That's why I say all my data. That's why I don't need no hard drive bays as such. And you know, I can always add, if I need more storage, I can always add SSD drives, or I can just get a bigger NVMe drive. These are both NVMe drives, yeah. NVMe drives. They're not SATA. Right. So now we're going to get the cables in for the power supply, and back to my bag of tricks. And I might have to take a quick break here in a second, chaps. Not for me, but to feed Millie. Otherwise, I'm going to get in the ear, because she's very precise, and she knows what she wants, and she lets you know what she wants. If you don't do it, you'll know about it. Okay, so the ones that I used before. Just looking for the cables that I opened. Right, that looks like what I had before. So this is the CPU. This is the 8-pin CPU. Okay, let's get that plugged in. Oh, CPU and graphics. So graphics gonna do. So the graphics gonna put there. So I'll put the graphics this one and this one because this one can come up the back. Okay, so this big boy. Want the narrow one. The narrow one goes in here. If you're ever wondering which end goes into your, oh, let me just swing round a second. If you're ever wondering on these modern power supply, right? Not all of them, different makes, but with Corsair, what they've done, they've sort of simplified things for you. Not only do they put right CPU on the connector as well, but the actual one that goes into the power supply itself, the clip is slightly narrower, and the bigger one's what goes up to your board. So pay attention to how you're trying to fit them. Now I'm going to fit this one with this. Okay, that's the CPU, so we'll get that in, and I'll run that up. Come on guys, please come in, watch the channel, support the channel. What I'm going to do, run that behind there, over down there, that's the 3. Let's see, how am I going to do this first? Yeah, that goes up there, let's move that out of the way, slide that in there. Okay, so that's in. Okay, how wide is twisted? Let me just. I've got to admit, this is a better fit wire than the last one. Why is it? I don't like it creased like that. I don't like it creased like that. I don't like too many creases in wires. It annoys me. So that's the 3-pin on that. So that can go. So I could put. They've actually done this. They've actually done this the other way around, haven't they? They've actually mounted this the other way around. Because that was up there last time on the other one. That was reversed. Let me just make sure this is lined up. Could I actually put my fans on there then? Is that what you're telling me? Control them all off here and not off the board, so I'm not running through the board. This is 4-pin. This is 4-pin fan, not 3. Right, no, I'll take them off the board because they're 4 pins. Okay. Right, that's 4-pin. Let's check that motor on. Let's motor on. Got that, got that. And I'll put my 24-pin in. This end's for the motherboard. Okay. So clip up on that, so I need to. And again, I've made things a little bit difficult for myself by putting the bottom one in first. But there you go, we've got that. And then I just need to, there we go. That's that. So they're in and the lock is secured. That's a 24 pin. And that is, no, I need the PCIe for the, I did actually have one open already, didn't I? For the graphics card. For the graphics card. Yep, that's the one. That comes up through there. Okay, yeah, that comes up through the shroud. So I just need to find my PCIe for in there. I should have want for punishment. I make things harder for myself by doing things awkward. That's right. This one goes in first, and then there we go. And then now you put the that's for the graphics card. Oh, there it is. That's what I was looking for. Thought it done a runner on me. Right. Now that is all the cables I need. That is all the cables I need on this power supply for this, because I say I've not got no SATA drives on there. I know I don't need no other SATAs for that because it's on there. So I can now shouldn't really say this because it's always sods law that something crops up. But I do believe I can actually put these away now. Right. Just that I like to keep my workspace tidy. I don't have much room. I need a bigger workspace. I'm just using my little office as my workspace as well. And I've just pulled my microphone out. Just click OK on here. OK. Alright. So that's that. Cable management I'm not going to do on screen. I'll do that off screen. But what I want to do now is connect up now put in some of my other peripherals. So let's get my, well, what's it said? Inserted. Right, yes, I need to clean up this CPU. Guys, I'm going to have to take a break in a second to go and feed my dog. Just give me a second, guys. I'm gonna carry on cleaning this. Should really take it out and clean it, because I don't want thermal paste getting into the board. I think I've circumnavigated it. I think I've avoided any major issues. He says, famous last words. Right, I'll just give this a quick spruce up. I'll do the bottom of the cooler as well in a second. I just want to okay. Well, let's do our cooler. So what I'll do, let's get the open this off first. Get some tissue. Okay. So my friends, you just give me 1 second. No. I'll wait till she tells me. I'll wait till she tells me off. Why does it always seem to find a cable that you missed? Why does it always seem to miss a cable? Okay. Next is thermal paste. Just unclip again. Nitrile glove. Oh, last one in that box. It's another box. I've got some more. Not to worry. I do have more. Right, you ready? Okay, ready? Yeah, it's clean. Ready? Okay. Mess that up. What to say though? And then what I'm going to do now, for that squad, is I'm just going to smoothen that out right across the. This is a hot. This chips can get hot, especially when I'm in MF flight sim. It does ramp up a bit. So I'm just putting it on the chip, not on the heatsink. And now we'll connect our EPS. There you go, clicks in. The fan for this is already connected to the back. Suppose I could always run one of those other fans. Okay. And then my other fan. And the one and only fan. Well, my two fans. Well, I've got three now, haven't I? One in the back and two in the front. Oh, so I've got three fans now. This one is right, okay. So that's the fans connected. Let me check if anything else on this, if I remember what was on the back. So that's a rear fan coming in there. That's that LED switch, that's a switch. So that's to put more fans in. And this is, yeah, this connects up to the front thing at the front. That was already blanked. It stayed blank. Okay. So we can do a few things here. And I'm sniffing again. I've been trying hard not to sniff. It's a habit I seem to find when I get stressed, and I've got to try to break out of it. So I do apologise, ladies and gents, boys and girls. Right, I'm just going to start doing a bit of managing. I'm not doing a lot, as I say, I'm not doing a lot. I'm just positioning it now because I'm getting ready to it's okay. Oh, use that. Yeah. I'm kind of getting ready to wrap up. Now, before you criticise me, say, "Oh, you've not done that tight." I know I'm not doing it tight. I've not done it tight for a purpose. It's just in case one has to make corrections. You never know. And if I am to make corrections, I'm still going to have to cut it because it's actually into the teeth now. Right. USB Type C. I've got my USB 2 on, USB 3 now. This port was up here, so I've got to USB 3. I'm trying to remember what it's come through the last time, because this one's a bit of a ball ache, positioning wise. I think what it's come through. You can never ever get these things are never ever 100%. Because the cable's so thick, you just no way you can get that system fan there needs to come up through this. It needs to come up through this. It'll look a lot neater. Yeah, that looks much better. All this is trial and error. Okay, I'm going to go with that. Simply because I can't go with anything else. Okay, I've got something. Right, the cable management, as I say, I'm going to do off camera. That's to go into the front panel. Right, so now we're ready to got those connected up. Put my cooler back on, my fan. And then probably what I'll do, well, I'm disappointed that a lot more people didn't come in the channel, but never mind, I will not give up. Never give up on a good thing. It's probably my bad. Okay, that's reattached. Let's get the fan back on. I might even find what these clips are a pain in the butt. I tend to always connect the fan first. Right. Okay, fan back on. All fans connected. All that's done. Really? What to do now is front power graphics card, but while I've got it down on each side, I'll put the graphics card in now. I've got it down on each side. Graphics card first, or I've got to break these things out now. So if it's graphics card is 2, so it's 2 and 3. Am I not wrong? Graphics card, yeah, 2 and 3. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, these back panels are breakouts. 2 and 3, and then I've got an extra 4 USB 3 USB 3 ports. There you go. That one. Is it that one I go into? Yeah, that one. So it's this one. There we go. There we go. I really hope this works this time, guys, and I don't end up with egg on my chin again, having to swap it all back. I'll be very annoyed and I won't bother anymore. Oops. Oops. Thumb screw. I really don't like these kind of and I've just dropped my screw somewhere. It's there. I really don't like these kind of back plates fittings. Okay, that's that first. I know I've got a screw over here for that. Okay, then my graphics card. I'll do this while I've got it down, guys, so that I don't have to lay it down and I don't have to mess about. Pros and cons to everything. There we go. Right, now right, I think we're done with that, so we need to put our EPS to the graphics card. I'm sort of glad I left the I left the front panel off. It's proved useful, and that's what I mean about learning from previous experiences, especially when you're building a case that you've not built in before. It helps when you take your time, you try everything. Okay, so let's get this EPS in. First time, remember to put this through this side. I have to put both up. Clips in the top. Yeah. And come through and then have to tie them through. 2, 4, 6. This is an 8er. Let me see what I'm doing. Okay, so this is an 8er. 8-pinner. I'm just lining it up, or trying to. There we go. And then that's going to go into here. And that's it, that's my, yes, and I'm going to put a cable tie, because this doesn't sit quite, I'm going to put a cable tie around that to keep it neat, try and keep things neat. And then, let's see how far up do I come here. Keep this, that's better, makes it look neater. Makes it look neater as it can. And then I need my 24 pin up into the board, which is up here. Can only go up here. Clips to the outside, and it's a pain in the ass because you've got to maneuver it and double it up and do all sorts of weird and wonderful things. And there we go. That's that, right? Guys, that's it. So, board swap. So let's put the, let's lift that back out a bit. Get it back out a bit. There you go. Right, so I'm going to put the on. Then we need to put the case front on. That's at the top. Yes, it goes that way. ABB. And this goes through. How far down did this come? I've got to. That's the two clips, so that goes through there. Let's see first. Yeah, that goes through. Yeah, that's right. That's the front panel back on. This connects up into this. This is where it came from. Oh, where is it? Oh no, it came from off. And I'm going to wrap it up there, guys, because my dog is calling me. She's on the stairs, and she normally gets fed at 6. And I've actually surpassed that. Hey, Mill. What you doing, baby? Okay, I'm coming. She's now joined me. There we go. It's a stupid design because it's at the back and the graphics card overhangs it. Fine if you've got a low profile graphic card, but if you haven't, it's issues. Right, seeing as there's only me in the stream and no one else has joined me, I'm going to call it quits there. And then I'm going to do my other case, fit the board, wait for the CPU to come, because then the next task that I'm going to do is that my streamer is running an i7 at the moment. Well, I've ordered another i9 9900 KF for my streamer CPU. So the next time I'm going to be swapping it out. So I'll have two systems running exactly the same specs, my daily and my streamer. And then that i7 that I take out my streamer, I'm going to put into the case on a ASUS board that I've got. And I'm going to use that as a web surfer. Okay, I'm going to call it there quick, guys, because that's nearly an hour. I was hoping that I'd get more people in the stream. I do hope that you'll come and join me again sometime. And I'm going to say to you all, au revoir, and I'll see you again. Take care.